Michael Meegan, good morning. How are you? I'm gonna
That is a
take you off mute
gorgeous
here.
that is a gorgeous hat I am looking at right now. Where'd you get it?
Hey, I got it at badlandstoj.com. So glad you asked.
Oh my God! It's just an outstanding merch performance from both of us today. I think it goes without saying. Just product placements at an all-time high.
Well, we got Will in the Discord slinging property tax relief at 8 a.m. this morning. We got us on here with the hats and the shirts. It's an efficient operation we got going
We
on here.
we cover everything from all angles. You can't. One thing you'd say about Badlands is that they leave no stone unturned.
No stone unturned, indeed. How we doing? This is 3-11 versus 4 and what are they? 4-10? Good God.
Yeah. This is a terrible football game. These two teams are not. I was thinking about this. Are the Saints the team that you expected the Jets to be?
That's actually kind of an interesting, good way to put it, right? Like a little squirrely, fighting more than you expected them to.
Like they have like a real scalp. Like they beat a division opponent in Tampa Bay. They beat Carolina, I think, twice, and then I forget who their other win is. Off the top of my head, but the first time they played Tampa, they gave them a scare. They played the Bills tough. Like they're just kind of plucky, and like they also have a quarterback that the Jets opted not to opt into last year's quarterback class. The Saints decided to go round one, get a offensive tackle, fix their mistake of drafting Trevor Penning, which they never should have done. And then they took Tyler Shuck, and now we're seeing him play the second half of the season, and he's playing well. The offense moves the ball. They've won a couple games. They're looking kind of spunky. I don't know if Justin Fields and Tyler Shuck are like a like-for-like comparison, but I think in like the most – I wouldn't say even like optimistic. I think in like the median Jet opinion was like, hey, can the Jets win 5 or 6 games? Can they look plucky doing it? And then can they beat like a better team than them, maybe hopefully one in their division? And that's kind of what the Saints have done that we haven't really seen the Jets do.
The Saints, the fourth win for the Saints, by the way, is the Giants.
That was the first one.
They're going to go 3-3 in their division, no matter what. Which is like that's for a bad team at the bottom of your division. If you can go 3-3 in the division, that's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good.
I mean, their division is bad. Like, we should be somewhat fair about it. Their division is. Literally, I think the NFC South's point differential is like minus 240.
What's funny though is they beat the 2 best teams in the division.
Correct, and they lost to Atlanta.
Right, lost to Atlanta. I guess they have Atlanta one more time at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they could go 4-2 in their division with 5 or 6 wins. Because I think they have the Titans next week, so it's not like I think they have 2. They like this Saints team could win 6 or 7 ball games, which I don't think anyone was projecting. At the end of the year, at the beginning of the year.
Jets, Titans, Falcons is a hell of a way to finish the year.
There's a non-zero chance they could finish on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, which is good for us.
Or actually, is it 5? Have they won 2 games in a row? Did they beat Carolina and Tampa Bay in back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago, Carolina last week, so they could finish hot, real hot. And if they do, like, let's paint the scenario where they do win the last 3 weeks of the year. They will have won 6 of their last 8, which that's a story that Jets fans are familiar with, of finishing the season hot and being like, it's all good. We got Tyler Shuck, dude. We're fine.
Yeah. Dude, Shuck Dynasty, I'm not saying I'm buying all the stock, but he's impressed me. Like, it was never a talent thing with him. It was always durability. Like, the guy could never stay healthy, like, ever. It was like Penix level, like multiple lower leg injuries. And his last year at Louisville, he was able to do so. He played well, but people who are not healthy in college normally don't get healthier in the NFL. But so far, so good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to get into this thing here? I did see.
This is a fantastic comment.
You're getting voiceover royalty. Oh,
I fucking wish
on again this week?
I don't know. I didn't even watch, to be honest with you. I don't know. Normally, Will normally catches that like right away and then just throws in the group chats. If I don't see that, I'm normally not. I'm not normally diving into Jets team-made comment when they're 3-11. Like in the middle of my week, I'm trying to like forget that they exist for like Tuesday to Thursday normally.
I am. I'm a sicko. And like not necessarily like all the team content, but like they do a really good job with One Jet.
Oh, they do. One Jet Drive is a great product. Like 100%. Much better than
It's kind of like your own version of Hard Knocks. That's like it's store brand Temu Hard Knocks, if you will. So I consume all that stuff. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but that sounds lovely. I wonder if this is related to that. That we deserve an Emmy. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we should. This show definitely deserves something. I mean, maybe like an iHeart Radio Music Award, like one of those things. I think the JetHeads deserve something for this pregame show.
I think honestly, the roughly 1,000 people that end up showing up every week deserve something. I don't know what the right way to put it is, but
maybe it's a watch list. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know. Like and the thing that boggles my mind is how the people throughout the show, the number keeps increasing because they just want more to hear about this team, which is so funny. But I say before we get into the CFP, I just want to put this comment up because this is all we want. It's not about winning games anymore. It's not about brother. Like, can we just watch a quarterback who's not a grumpy old man who hates his existence, play 17 games for the franchise and just throw the ball around a little bit? Like, is that so hard, man?
It's really not a lot to ask. And please God. And that leads us into the college football playoff discussion, actually. I will just say before we get going, Ryan, my guy, UK Gator guy, Ryan, I did see you hop in the queue to call at the beginning here. Feel free to call back again anytime. I think you were just you were in before we were, so we missed you there. But we'll see you when you hop in. So let's get into the college football playoff. We had the pleasure over the last 2 days of watching, actually 3 if you count Tanner McKee, potential future quarterbacks for the Jets, and Ty Simpson and Dante Moore. I think a lot of people walked away impressed with Ty after the comeback win for Alabama the other night. I left that game being like, there were 2 drives that I really liked from Ty Simpson, and outside of those 2 drives, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to go crazy here, but there were some pretty good throws on those 2 drives. Dante Moore last night threw 2 picks. One of them was pretty bad, but also like that game was never in doubt. And also backdoor cover, but like they were in control the whole time. He threw for over 300 yards. He looked great. And a couple really nice deep balls.
Yeah, and like the one pick in the red zone specifically, Oregon was pressing to try to like make a point and run up the score, and they made an impulse decision. They should have really just handed the ball off there and just ran in the end zone. But they were trying to flex, and style points are style points. But I also want to lead this point about Dante Moore. The selling yourself on Dante Moore and the want for him to declare and the want for him to take him with a top 2 pick, hopefully for the Jets, is not about the player he is now. It's a lot about the player that he's going to be. And like Dante Moore is going to make mistakes. Dante Moore is still raw in certain areas. I think he's made a ton of strides this year. I really like what the tape he's put on the field, but he's not a player. This isn't Andrew Luck at Stanford who's just come in ready to go. Like, he's a guy you have to be patient with. It's going to take some time, and he shouldn't see the field right away. And if you believe in Dante, like, if you just want the quickest fix at quarterback possible, you're always going to opt for Mendoza. You will, because right now, Fernando Mendoza plays the quarterback position better than Dante Moore. A couple years down the line, things can obviously change, but if you're looking for the more ready prospect, it is Mendoza. Like, I'm not going to beat around about that, but Dante Moore, because of how the thing that intrigues me the most about Dante Moore is a lot of athletic, we'll call them projects, normally are inaccurate. Sam Darnold struggled with accuracy. Zach Wilson struggled with accuracy. Like, they had all the tools in the world, but they didn't have that consistent down-to-down accuracy at the college level that we then so plagued them. Zach never developed it. Sam has as he's gone on, but when he was a Jet quarterback, he was consistently having a completion percentage that was hovering below and around 60%. Like, he was never a 70% completion percentage college passer. Dante Moore is. Dante Moore is 3rd in the entire nation in completion percentage. Like, while he does need things he needs to work on, the normal, trope that we see with these athletic projects is normally accuracy issues. He doesn't have them.
And the counterpoint to that, even though he's not playing well this season, is Baker Mayfield, who ended up going number 1 overall in that 2018 draft. His completion percentage was, I think, like 75 or 76 at Oklahoma. Like the dude just didn't miss.
Yeah, like that was the thing about that quarterback class, is that Rosen and funny enough, and Baker were always more consistently accurate than Darnold and Allen. And then Lamar, they just, we don't have to go into the Lamar discussion. Was not a running back apparently, but yeah. But we have to. Here we go.
I'm gonna put up this comment for Max, because Max is the prince who was promised.
That's true. That's true.
I was nervous when I heard Darnold.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it today. We're not doing it today.
No, Max. We only want to talk to you about the Jeremy Ruckert extension. That's the only thing we want to talk about.
Well, I mean, that actually kind of makes sense because they're not paying him anything. And he's a live body, and when you go into the tight end market for live bodies, you find like 40 Jeremy Ruckerts. So you might as well just keep the guy. Like,
yeah,
you know,
agreed. And it's easy. Like you have him in the building already. Exactly. Like,
yeah, you don't have to teach anybody anything. Yeah. There's continuity, and maybe he's like, obviously don't know the locker room dynamics, but there's every chance he's a good mentor for Taylor. Somebody who can just help him along as he learns and takes on a bigger role. That's great. And, it doesn't stop you from drafting anybody. So like, I'm a big fan of never trying to find an upgrade with like the same amount of capital. Cause you're not going to, so just keep things going. But, he's kind of had an okay year. Now that he's actually in a system that's going to teach him how to block, and isn't a rookie, like he was when he was a rookie when LaFleur was there, right?
Yeah, it was his first year. Was Garrett's first year. He only got 1 year of LaFleur.
Right. So like it's in a way we haven't really gotten a chance to see him become a proper player. It'll never be anything more than he is. But like I actually kind of like it. Smart business.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, that 2 years of Nate Hackett could be terrible for anyone's development, and that
nobody's going to block, because I'm sure they don't. I mean, I'm sure they don't practice it. They're just running all the the spending all their team period on quick game with Aaron Rodgers throwing
the gold zone, buddy. Come on now.
Times.
Aaron Rodgers' favorite tight end target was Kenny Yeboah's ass, so he never really looked at Jeremy Ruckert too much.
Well, I mean, something to look at.
So how's it going, Max? Have you recovered from the trauma last night?
I have recovered. I actually didn't think they did anything. I thought it was just like gum.
Oh, Zinn. You didn't think Zinn did anything?
Yeah, I thought it was just like gum.
No, somebody should have warned you before they gave you that. That was not smart, especially in a hot bar with a few drinks.
In their defense, they assumed I was an adult.
That's the first mistake.
Yeah, like they assumed that this 26-year-old didn't need to be taught basic things about the world. So that's fair. That's on me. But that was quite an experience. All I do is just drink normally, and that will remain. But yeah, no, I did, and I had my 1 a.m. lamb chop.
Yeah, that was. I woke up to text message this morning of you cooking lamb at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just blown away.
This is a really dangerous thing that I'm doing, because like I can barely keep control of heat in a normal situation. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
you're hacking time. What did you think of Dante and Ty this weekend?
I haven't even watched the Alabama game yet, honestly, because I was at a birthday thing, which I probably should have not gone to, because I'm supposed to be doing this seriously, but but I did not watch that yet. I'll watch the tape after the games today, probably, or maybe like before they start, depending on how long.
1 to 4 I'm actually going to get over some lamb, maybe.
Well, I'm actually going to the butcher shop to pick up a veal chop now, after this. So if I have time after that before the games, then I'll watch the game. Dante Moore didn't really do anything, in my opinion. Like, he was great and everything, but I mean, he made a lot of throws and all that. But I mean, making throws is not moving the needle, because like we already know that. We already know that you can make
Yeah.
high level
Dante Moore.
pure throws.
We watched Dante Moore play Rutgers. Like when Oregon can out athlete you and they have the speed to do it, he's very good like that, not missing. Like there are quarterbacks in college football who miss when their guys are running wide open. One plays for Oklahoma, the other plays for Texas A&M that we saw this weekend. But Dante can do that. But if you're trying to solidify yourself as a top 5 pick, he's got a very tough test in 10 days.
Yeah, he does.
That Texas Tech defense is not a joke.
The thing that worries me about him, at least right now, is that like we saw the Indiana game, and Indiana's defense is great. They are very hard on quarterbacks. It was his first real test. Maybe it's going to go totally different, but if you're an NFL team, there's still enough unknown there as far as what happens when he's in a really difficult adverse situation and he doesn't have the margins anymore. Like, that's the thing, you mentioned Marcel Reed. You look at the games where he's able to get away with taking these extra hitches in his operation and seeing things late and getting to things whenever he gets to them because things are wide open and the pocket's clean. But when the margins tighten and the windows close faster and pressure gets there quicker, all of a sudden your timing has a real hard buzzer on it. And so those things will kill you. And I want to see Dante Moore in that situation, because the last time we did see him in that situation, he was a little overwhelmed, and understandably so. He's a young quarterback, it's his first year, but that kind of strengthens the case for him coming back and getting to a place where he has college football completely by the balls, the way you want a number 1 overall pick type of player too. Like, you look at, obviously Joe Burrow is an extreme example, but CJ Stroud in his second year versus his first year, as great as he was in his first year, is a totally different animal. Just as far as the things he was doing and the things they were asking him to do and the level of control. And you knew that there was no game in which he wasn't going to be able to play at a super high level. Maybe he isn't going to win it. Maybe he isn't even going to put up numbers if they totally smother you, which obviously nobody did. But you know that he's going to be able to not just rise to the moment in a psychological sense, but speed up to the moment in when the games get faster. So I want to know that. And I don't know that about Dante Moore yet. I think Dante Moore has everything, and I think he has the raw ability to do that, but I don't want to take him out of the oven before he's done.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's really the best decision for Dante, if we are not trying to play the vacuum of what if you get injured, what if you put on worse tape, it would be in his best interest, if we're just talking about his quarterback development, to stay another year. I just don't think he will, because Will Stein isn't there anymore. He's going to be Kentucky's head coach, and this isn't a premium draft on the non-quarterback side. Like, it's not flooded with blue chippers. Like, he's like, maybe if the Giants or Titans are picking top 2, it's different. If anyone else is picking top 2, like, him and Mendoza are probably going to be the first 2 picks. And they're probably going to be in the top 10 of a lot of people's overall big boards, because it's just not that kind of draft.
It's true. But I will counter with, like, the fact is the story's not done yet. We have, like you said, we have a tough game with Texas Tech. I honestly wish they were playing Georgia or Ohio State, just because I think that's a little bit more of a informative matchup as far as what they'll do, because they're actually going to send extra bodies a lot. And so that's a little bit of a different element than obviously Texas Tech can rush the passer, but they're just so sound. And I kind of want to see him really heat it up, but it's a great matchup nonetheless. He could go out there, and if he has a Drew Aller against Notre Dame game, the conversation flips instantly, because everyone wanted Drew Aller in the draft before that game. Even I did. Like, now, granted, after that game, I was done with him forever, just because of how bad he looked. But like, before that game, if everybody puts their pencils down, you stop the clock, and he enters the draft, he probably goes in the top 10. And we are all saying the same thing. Not a great quarterback draft. What about if he gets injured? There's not a lot of other stuff, and he'll get drafted. And at the same time, he was never that guy.
No.
So we'll find out. But this conversation can't be had until their season is over.
Well, let me ask you guys both a question. If you're putting on your team building, GM, player evaluation hats, is it, if you're the, let's just call it what it is. If you're the Jets, is it better to, Dante Moore and Ty Simpson in this fantasy world are coming out. Is it better to wait until 2027 and start with a guy at that point, whoever it is, right? Put any name in there, or to just take the guy who's coming out, get him in your program for a year, sit him down for at least 10 games, and then take it from there? Like, what is your preference? And I've kind of asked Max a similar question in different ways at different points, because I think, Max, your position is like there's no substitution for additional college reps. I had a conversation with a friend of mine this weekend, and he was just like, man, Dante Moore has like 500 career attempts in college. Like, can you think of a guy in the NFL who had 500 career attempts in college who worked out? And like, that's what scares me about it. And I don't know off the top of my head if there's a guy like that in the NFL, but would you rather get the guy in your program and be in control of it for a year before you like move forward? Or would you rather wait and then start the clock with a guy who's had some more college seasoning?
I would, in a normal situation, I would say it's just not it's never ideal, because you only get so many shots at a quarterback, because you don't want to you can always end up like the Giants and picking just out of range. But the Jets have so much capital in next year's class that no matter what, they will, if they want to, get into position to take a quarterback. They have all the cards in that arena, so they can actually control whether or not they wait. In that sense, I would wait. I will say it slightly depends on what the board looks like. Because like if Ruben Bain really tumbles due to the arm length stuff, this class could get a little thin at the top really quickly. And I like Jordan Tyson, but he's hurt all the time. Caleb Downs is insane. I love him, and I would draft him immediately. But maybe he's gone. So, I don't know, but at the end of the day, they have enough control over whether they can get into position next year that I think I would wait and just draft the best player available and just build as good of a team as possible.
Okay. Meegs, you too?
For me, I think it really depends on where they're slotted. Like, I just don't think I don't think I could pass on if both of them are in the draft and the Jets pick second and Mendoza goes 1 to, let's say, Vegas. I just have a hard time struggling with the opportunity cost of just passing on Dante with that, because I believe in my plan. I believe in we make fun of the Jets organization all the time, but like this regime has to believe that their plan is going to work. Otherwise, like, what's the point of having them? Like, you can make an argument, as I said, to Max's point about Ruben Bain and Jordan Tyson, like if the arm length concerns are real, if Jordan Tyson's medicals don't go well, you can make a strong argument the best player available is Dante Moore. Like that, you can, it's like Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese are very good players, but Dante Moore isn't going to be too far behind them on the big board. So that's where to me, it's not like you're passing on, like, this isn't 2023 even, where like CJ Stroud was like a light quarterback, but people thought he had a more limited ceiling. Bryce Young had the size concerns. Like the Will Anderson in that draft doesn't exist in this one.
True, but I will say that CJ Stroud was a liked quarterback, and like you said, that's how people thought of him. But they were dead wrong.
Correct,
and not just in hindsight, they were dead wrong at the time. Yeah. Like they didn't like CJ Stroud because he was quote unquote boring, because he wasn't running around launching bombs all the time until he absolutely needed to, and for some reason that was viewed as a negative instead of a huge positive. The guy is deadly accurate. I was actually reading through Ohio State's 2022 pass installs last week while I was watching Sayin, and there's just so much stuff they don't get to because he's young. And you saw that with Stroud in his first year, and you definitely saw it with Justin Fields. Like, they were really running the Cliff Notes version of their passing game, where they were just driving shit outside the numbers. But you look at CJ Stroud in that second year, like, it was fully uncaged, full NFL, because again, Day has an NFL background, like full pro style offense, complex reads, empty protections, giving him control at the line, all that stuff. And Dante Moore's not CJ Stroud.
No.
Yet. I think you give him one more year. I think you give him that second year, and he becomes CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but like I said, the best thing for Dante is to probably play another year. But if you're talking about from the Jets' perspective, if he gives you the opportunity to take him, I don't think you pass up on it. But we got someone. That is just a gorgeous rack of lamb right there.
Yeah. So PSU Joe, who I'm going to let in a second here, he said in the chat that he wanted to hear more about the lamb. So this is the text with the timestamps from last night.
Yeah.
It's lamb time, and it's Max. Was it going in the oven at 12:15?
At that point I was preheating. I think I don't really remember, but yeah, because I ate at like 1:15. It was in there for like 25 minutes, I think.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Incredible.
Well, no, it wasn't yet. Because I hadn't finished seasoning. That's right. I added a layer of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and then I added the rosemary. That was earlier.
Yes.
Some people like text people when they're, blackout and you're just making gorgeous lamb meals in the middle of the night.
But I'm also texting people about it.
Yeah. Like that entire group chat for the Badlands Draft Guide is normally Max sending something between 12:30 and 2 a.m. It's either film or food related that all of us will wake up to. So we thoroughly appreciate him for that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the smartest guy in the world after like 10:30. And between 8:30 a.m. and then I'm, either regular to below average.
That's a good way to put it, Max.
All right, Max. Thanks for joining us.
See you
Go
guys
get your
later.
meal. We'll talk to you, man.
Later, Max.
Joe, how you doing, man?
Can we hear him? I'm loving this Santa hat. This is
You guys.
Okay. We can hear you, Joe.
We hear you. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna remove you for a second while we catch up, and then maybe pop you back in. Oh, he left.
Okay, he's probably going to come back. So, should we have the draft order discussion now? I feel like we've teased it long enough.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Paul is historically very anti-tank. Like tanking doesn't work. Tanking doesn't mean anything. And I think I've been pretty I'll put it honest about this year. Like, what am I rooting for? Like, what do I want to see? Now I feel like we've reached a different point of the season where Brady Cook's starting, Garrett Wilson's not coming back, Steve Wilkes is fired, the defense is playing like DBs, like we're barely on the training camp roster. None of the starting receivers were on the Jets during training camp, and Brady Cook again is starting football games. Like, has your positions softened? I'm not asking are you outright rooting for the Saints today, because I know the answer to that is no, but do you see value in winning a game like 16-13 today?
Do I see value in it? In terms of like the whole, get some wins for the culture situation? Like
just any, for Aaron Glenn's sake, to not end the season on a long losing streak, to not Aaron Glenn's 3 wins have come against teams that are in that graphic. Like Cleveland was there, Cincinnati's there, Atlanta's there. Like the teams that he's beating, like he's not punching above his weight with his wins so far. They've been teams that have been in and around the Jets.
I would see a lot more value in beating Buffalo or New England. If that's the question you're asking, I would see a lot more value in those wins than I would in a win today. That being said, I'm not going to sit here and get mad if they make a play, but I guess I'm kind of threading the needle of a tank discussion here of no, logically, for sure, man, I understand. And obviously this one would put the Saints pretty much free and clear of us, because it would put them 2 games up on us with a tiebreaker against the Saints. So I get the value of today's game.
Okay. That's good, because I just for this with if they lose today, and we think New England has to play next week, I don't think any real scenarios where they clinch the division or the 1 seed or anything like that, because Denver has a tough game against Jacksonville. They have a tough game against Baltimore. New England's playing their starters next week, and I think Buffalo's going to have to regardless, because it's division games. And if the Patriots lose to Miami, they lose the tiebreaker back to Buffalo, so they might probably still play that game next week. Losing this game, you're at the absolute worst picking fourth. And picking fourth won't be good. I think they will have if the Giants win. If the Giants, I think the schedule tiebreaker, they can get ahead of the Giants with a couple of games. Like they're looking like their schedules, like we see on the screen, are so close. Tennessee has an absolutely banged up Chiefs team and the Saints left on their schedule, as well as a Jaguars team who could have nothing to play for week 18. Like the Jets have a real shot. I don't think the Jets can get the number one pick. I think they unfortunately have won one too many games for that to happen because they don't have the schedule tiebreaker. But I think there's a real chance they can get up to number 2. And I think if you want, I'm not saying the season's a success because they got the second overall pick, but it's going to be a pretty big silver lining for a season that I think has disappointed most fans personally. Like I think the season has been disappointing. I don't think that's unfair to say.
And I guess the question is, and Joe, can you hear us now?
I can.
Okay, good. We can hear you too. I think like I guess just what I'd say back to that is like, is getting the fourth pick a disappointment? Is it not a silver lining? And then it becomes like, well, is Dante Moore coming out? Is Mendoza going 1? And like you start doing like the trigonometry there to figure out what's happening. Because I think if Mendoza goes 1 and you're sitting at 2 and Dante Moore's there, like you kind of just have to do that. And
also, this is also not NFL talent evaluators love trades. Like if Dante Moore goes out, he can go 1 and Mendoza can go 2. Do you remember the Sam Darnold entire discourse? We never thought he was going to be on the board for the Jets. Like
correct.
He was the least talked about quarterback of all of them during that entire draft cycle. Like Mendoza right now is the best quarterback, but Dante Moore has a good playoff. Oregon gets to the semifinals, the finals, or wins the national title. And, he plays 3 good games against 3 upper echelon teams. And maybe he beats Mendoza the rematch because if they win both teams win their next 2 games, they're going to play again. Like Mendoza could be a Jet with the second overall pick. Like that's a realistic scenario. And the Fernando Mendoza discussion, when he's not the first quarterback taken and you're not mortgaging draft capital to take him, becomes a very different discussion. That's personally how I feel. Like all my anti-Mendoza thing is like worrying about a trade up or taking him over another quarterback that I might maybe like a little better. Him being just the second overall pick where his expectations are a little lessened from when you're mortgaging the future for him or just taking anyone 1-1, I think that becomes a different discussion entirely.
Yeah, agreed. No surprises on inactives here. We've been making Joe wait long enough just sitting here like Steven Glansberg. So Joe, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good, guys. I'm very curious about Max's lamb.
Max is a good cook.
I like to cook also, and sometimes some of the best is in the middle of the night. So very curious about it, but I'll shoot him a note offline. I was dead wrong about the game last week. I thought we were going to win. The week before, same thing. So I'm picking the Saints. I am rooting for the Jets, not because I know there's nothing to be gained by winning this game. I know Jets Twitter goes mad when people say that, but I just like winning. And I don't think there's a shot in hell of the next 2 weeks. So if we win, great. We have ammo to move up in the draft. But everything you guys just said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's a completely fine position to have. I understand it. I guess what scares me about trading up and what scares me about why rather than lose today and completely solidify, like if they lose today, they're going to pick in the top 5. Like they're not going down. 5th is the worst they can pick, and the Giants have to play the Raiders. So like you think like one of those teams is going to then inherently change it, but I guess where I struggle inherently, and there's not a ton of logic around that. Like this is an emotional belief, is that I don't trust the Jets to make the right decision at quarterback in general. Now I'm attaching more draft capital to that decision where it becomes like a bigger opportunity cost and a bigger risk proposition where it's just like I'm putting more pressure on someone I don't believe in to begin with. Like, like that just genuinely scares me. I have 100% knowledge just saying that. And
in a trade scenario is what you're saying.
Yes, correct. Okay. Like I don't in a complete vacuum, I don't trust the Jets to develop, pick a quarterback correctly. I just don't, because they haven't
right?
they haven't been able to do so. And now if I'm adding a trade up scenario, I get even more nervous because there's more at stake because of the assets you've risked just to get the chance to not fuck up a young child.
Yeah, and in that regard, you're 100% right? I mean, why would you want to spend more if losing a meaningless game is what gets you that chance to invest less, right? So in the end, I know what I root for doesn't mean anything. So I will just, if they win, great. If they don't, I'm very okay with it.
Okay, that's a good opinion to have. Is there anything you like on the gambling wise? Does Mrs. PSU Joe is she on a cold streak? What's the deal? You flamed her 1-4 last time.
She banged the Bears last night, and
good for her.
She fell asleep before it happened. Woke up this morning. She's like, "Hey, I see I won." I go, "Yeah, you did."
Yeah,
but yeah, she did good on that. I haven't talked to her yet about today's games, but I'm all in on two things: the money line for the Jets, not the money line, the spread for the Jets, and the interception. Which we have to hit it this week.
It has to. It has to.
It has to. Like, Steve Wilkes was fired. You're playing like a second-round rookie. We've said it. Tyler Shuck's played well in moments, but he's still at the end. He's a rookie quarterback. He can make a mistake. You just got to catch a pass. I don't care if it's a BS deflection or anything like that. You don't have to it doesn't need to be a DB running the route for him. It could literally just be Tyler Shuck didn't see one of your linebackers and they somehow held onto the ball. Like, it doesn't have to be flashy. Honestly, and I'll take this, the Saints can be up 27-10 with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, and it could be an arm punt. And I'd be like,
yeah,
fantastic.
No problem.
Like, it's literally like a third down, and we catch the ball inside our own 15. Don't care. Catch the football once. That's all I ask.
I mean, the problem the last few weeks has been that they've been getting it put on them so hard, so early that teams just don't need to throw in the second half. By the halftime of last week against Jacksonville, I was like, Trevor Lawrence doesn't need to throw another pass. And then he came out in the fourth quarter, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man!
People will punk the Jets, and they don't feel bad about it, and that's not going to stop until you do something about it.
Yeah,
I know it comes up every week. You guys think anything's going to happen with Burrow?
No.
I mean, the interviews are so weird with him, but
I just have maybe Cincinnati is different than the other 31 organizations. Like, just how they do things monetarily. They are the most mom and pop shop version of an NFL team you're ever going to get. I just haven't seen a quarterback ever get out when the team wasn't on board. And if you're Cincinnati, what are you doing? You're going to trade Joe Burrow? Really?
Oh, I wouldn't, but
yeah, I mean, maybe he's willing to go to places that other quarterbacks haven't, but I'd be surprised. And if he does get out of there, Stafford's going to retire and he's going to go to the Rams.
I keep thinking that too,
because he's got a no trade clause. He can say I'm only waiting for this team.
Right.
Can somebody verify this? Zach Taylor is expected to return again?
That's true. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They don't fire coaches that
the Bengals do. He has a year left on his extension, and the Bengals do not pay coaches not to coach.
Yep.
That's just how they operate, man. Marvin Lewis was the coach there forever, never won a playoff game. They didn't seem to mind.
Joe C was making a point earlier this week that I think it was him, maybe it was Connor, but as bad, everybody's like, oh, why would Joe Burrow want to come to the Jets? Number one, it's the city more than it is the team.
Yeah.
Number two,
it's big market.
The Jets are a poorly run organization. Go look at Cincinnati. Bad facilities, don't invest in anything, don't take care of the players, don't have good food. It's as much as it's top to bottom here, it's top to bottom, side to side in Cincinnati.
Yeah, if you think Woody doesn't spend money and Woody sometimes puts on the purse, takes the purse strings away, Cincinnati never had him to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unbelievable.
All right, Joe. So before we let you go, what is your official prediction for today? Give us a score, and is there a bet you like?
I do like the Jets spread. I saw it up to 7 at one point.
Yeah, I think it's 6.5 currently on the books, the 2 books I've seen. But yeah, it's been floating around. I mean, it opened at 4.5 and it jumped up 2 points for the Saints.
So I like that, and I like the interception. It has to happen.
The interception is at -108 on FanDuel, which I expected it to be longer than that.
I did too.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are my two for today. And for a score, I don't know. Let's say we lose 21-17.
Okay. Keep inside the number. All right, I can see that.
I think that's kind of a result that everybody can be happy with. You preserve the draft position. You fought against a team that you could argue is hot right now and a little squirrely. Yeah, sure.
And you cover.
Yeah.
So
it would be nice to see the Jets not immediately be down 14-0 before like the first quarter is even halfway over, and some people have sat down.
Talk about like a sliding scale of gratitude. I would actually just be okay with that. Like, just don't get the doors blown off in the first quarter, and okay.
Literally, I think the Jets were down 14-0 before the clock hit 1:30 the past 2 weeks. So,
guys, well, what's the plan for the show this week with the holiday?
we're going to record, and then it'll come out Tuesday morning. So I think that's December 23rd. So yeah, it should be normal things as advertised.
Yep,
we'll be normal. Cool.
Yep.
Well, you guys have a great one.
You too,
Thank
Joe.
you so much for calling in.
Later, guys.
Bye.
All right. So do you want to talk about Cook versus Shuck?
That was like, I kind of half put that in there, like tongue in cheek, like, yeah, big quarterback showdown here. I think what I intended when I put this in was, so I get like, I don't know what the right word for it is, but I want to see things in the NFL before I just write something off, right? And so there's a lot of the Brady Cook discourse to this point has been people saying, hey, like Brady Cook looks okay, he might have something. He looks more competent than the other two passers we've had in there this year. And then there's the other half of the world saying, well, he's an undrafted rookie from free agent that, that had to walk on at Missouri. Like, put it out of your mind. Like, he's nothing, right? And so I'd like to try to bring that discourse back to the middle and like try to evaluate, like, what have we actually seen so far? Let's forget his name is Brady Cook. Let's forget he came from Missouri. Let's forget where his spot on the depth chart was earlier this year. And like, to me, what I've seen is a dude who doesn't have much experience, as evidenced by the interceptions he's thrown, because the interceptions he's thrown have been in bad spots of the field, and they've been like really, really bad. The kind of interceptions that make you just like put your head in your hands and you're like, dude, why would you throw that ball? But at the same time, he's pressing, he's trying to throw a touchdown, he's trying to make a play. And for a 3-11 team, you're kind of like, all right, like, I don't know if I necessarily have a problem with that. And what I've seen is like a dude who does not appear afraid. Whereas we were watching a quarterback for half the season that looked terrified at all times. And so like, just to see the lack of fear and the playing free and loose has been a little bit encouraging. But when you're putting, this version of Brady Cook next to what we watched in that version of Justin Fields, it can skew what you think about Brady Cook a little bit, because it looks so different that it might overvalue what you're seeing. So
that's a perfect point.
Yeah. And I just want to have a rational conversation. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, comparatively to how Fields was playing, a quarterback who plays the position like Brady Cook is just more appealing after what you've been seeing through for weeks on end. So that part, I think, has happened. I think if maybe you weren't watching Fields consistently just be terrified out there, the Brady Cook interceptions probably do bother you more. This is also a very good point. He has 4 completions in the end zone, and 4 3 have been to the other team. Like, this is why the line is 6.5. This is why I don't think they'll win today, is that the Jets just aren't good. Like, if the Jets defense is going to be the same defense they've been all season, the Jets can't win games turning the ball over the way they do with Brady Cook. Correct. You can't. You can't do it. Like, Isaiah Williams should win probably the MVP, if it wasn't for woke, personally, in my opinion. But he can only do so much. And if Cook's gonna throw, like, just think, like, having a 6-7 minute possession of game time, and then he throws a pick in the end zone, like, that's just, you're not getting any points from that. Like, it's a waste. And if Brady Cook staying turnover free, but I guess what I want to say about Chuck is not even more about like how he's playing. It's more like the NFL is different, like than it's been this decade, especially with quarterback development. Like, I know people used to consider like day 2 of the draft like no man's land for quarterbacks. Like if you're not good enough to go in round 1, don't like look at the track record. Don't bother taking a quarterback outside of round 1 unless you get to day 3. Like Tyler Shuck is a very good example for why you should if the Jets are picking 4th or the Jets win this game and they can't trade up to get more Mendoza, this is why you shouldn't be above taking Nussmeier or Ty Simpson in round 2. Like make a dart throw at quarterback. Like you don't have to spend your first pick on quarterback. You can't go this offseason without making some type of investment in quarterback. Because if you
get
just
Tanner McKee for a 5th round pick, like do that.
Like do something.
Do
something. Like you can't completely sit this out. It's Jacoby Brissett, Brady Cook, and whatever, like a 5th round rookie, and that you don't think has any chance to play in 2026. You can't even really evaluate him on the field, and just win 4 games, and then think you're going to get to pick your quarterback whoever you want in 2027. Like that's just not how it works, man. That's just not how it works.
Yep, 100%.
All right, do you want to talk about Chris Harris? So what are you expecting out of Chris Harris?
I have a very specific pointed question, but I'll answer yours first. Mine is like, well, what am I expecting? I'm expecting it to look different. I don't know exactly how. I mean, the guy's never called plays before. I think they gave him a few series in the preseason, but like he's never called plays before. He's never been a coordinator before. So, but he was a player. And so is there any value to that? I think what I'm expecting is just some kind of different look, some kind of inspired play. And I'll like dovetail that into the question I'm going to ask you, which is like, if it looks different, if there is an interception today, if the pass rush is getting home, does that make you think twice about like maybe he does deserve a real interview for this job in the offseason? Or do you still want to go head first into, I mean, obviously like Jim Leonard and Chris Harris, it's not really a much of a conversation, right? One is an aspiring rising star that everybody's been obsessed with all year, and the other is a relative unknown, right? And so Chris Harris has a lot of ground to cover in 3 weeks with not a lot of opportunity to make something happen. But if it looks very different today and they're flying around and they're playing inspired, which I don't think is too far outside the realm of possibility based on the quotes coming out of Florham Park this week from the defense, which were like, it was almost reminiscent of the beginning of the season with how everybody was speaking about the previous coaching staff so poorly for a couple of weeks. It felt like that this week. Like all the defensive players were just emphasizing how bad the scheme was. And Quincy Williams went on a long tangent about how in free agency, the most important thing to him is going to be scheme, because what he learned this year is it's not just about how good of a player you are. It's about what defense you're in. And so if it looks different today, does it make you think twice? And what do you need to see from Chris Harris?
So if this sounds too negative or I'm being too doomer about this, please let me know, because I have a point I want to make, and then I want to on Chris Harris. Is it not just a complete embodiment of the salad culture to that Steve Wilkes is now their sacrificial lamb? The reason all their players played bad was Wilkes. Steve Wilkes sucks. He wasn't getting the best out of me. And this defense still, and this is not to fault Chris Harris because the guy's not a miracle worker, that Quincy Williams still doesn't play well, that Jermaine Johnson still can't hit the quarterback, that Will McDonald it's one of those one pressure, no sack games, not the 4 sack games for Will McDonald. And you're just looking at it like this is just a fundamental issue where if you give these players an excuse, they'll take it.
Right.
And the real fundamental issue is that this defensive roster, whether it's when Bob Saleh isn't here, just isn't tenable. Like that's what I'm looking for today. Because if you let up 25 plus points to the Saints and Tyler Shuck and them can just go down the field and Kellen Moore, like I'm not putting that on Chris Harris. Like I'm not saying like, oh, he called a bad game or anything like that. Like the thing why I don't think he'll get an interview. I don't think he'll get the job, and I think he will remain on staff. Like I don't think he's in danger of losing his job. Like see a larger scale clear out on the defensive side of the ball. Aaron Glenn needs to make if you hire Chris Harris and it doesn't work, you're never going to get a chance to hire another coach.
Yeah,
like it's just it's like I'm not saying like Chris Harris could easily be the best candidate they interview, and Chris Harris could be a diamond in the rough, and Chris Harris could be defensive Tanner Engstrand or defensive Chris Banjo on like a high end, and I wouldn't know. But if the hire doesn't work out, you're going to get called like arrogant because like you thought your institutional, like you just thought Steve Wilkes was just a bad egg and everything else you did was perfect. And you just need to plug someone who got your philosophy and played your scheme in and everything worked. Like if it works, fantastic. You look like a genius, but is Aaron Glenn ready to take that risk? I don't know. Well,
let me ask you this to put the tinfoil hat on for a second. Could you argue that this was the plan all along? Chris Harris, he interviewed for the D coordinator job last year. And he brought him onto the staff and then hired a different D coordinator. So you could say maybe this was the plan all along. Like he was always taking over for Wilkes at some point. I don't know if that's the case. I don't want to like put that out there as if that's a fact or anything. I do want to ask you a clarifying question. Is there nuance in your, it's just the players kind of point there of like, if you see the same effort from Quincy and Jermaine and Tony or, whatever player you want to put in there, but you see Malachi Moore playing with his hair on fire and Harrison Phillips looks better and Juwan Briggs looks better. And like some of the Glenn guys, the guys that this staff brought in, if they look better, but the rest it's almost more of like okay, well, all those guys need to go now because you can't take the Bob Saleh out of them. It's too deep.
No. Like that's kind of where I'm getting at, where it's like, if I'm looking for one thing from Chris Harris, if you're going to call blitz, just have it get home. Like, can you please like not like my two requests today? Have one of your players catch a pass, and if you're going to send 7 men, don't get it perfectly blocked up.
Right.
That for some like literally like I don't know why Steve Wilkes had no idea how to design a blitz for someone who's been in the NFL for 2 decades. But if you want to just get a small chip in your feather in your cap, dial up a blitz that doesn't get completely blocked up.
Yeah.
Because the Saints offensive line, it's not like you're playing the Eagles here.
Right.
And they're on running back like 5, so it's not exactly like Audric Estime isn't like lockstep in pass pro. Like it's still a young back there too.
Audric Estime, St. Joseph's Regional High School legend, which is where I went to high school in North Jersey here. So Shout out Audric Estime.
Okay. Well, then then he's scoring a touchdown today. So we just put write that in stone.
Yeah, man. I mean, just like this is a super insightful thing to say, but just look different. Like just look better. I don't know. Blitz get home is a good point. They probably can't change up the scheme too much, but for the love of God, please just look a little bit more competent on defense. Yeah,
it's really just the linebackers. Like they are just so bad to watch. Their discipline's terrible. Any sort of motion, like nothing Miami and Jacksonville did was schematically advanced. It was all of their base stuff, and you just refuse to ever play with a lick of discipline. And like Kellen Moore, he's fine. Like his Eagles offenses didn't light the world on fire. Neither did his Chargers offenses. Like he's a good play caller. He's not like an upper echelon guy. Like he's got a young team. Their offensive line's fine. They have, a couple weapons, but they traded Rashid Shaheed. Like Olave, we'll see how long he stays on the field. Juwan Johnson, who is Tyler Shuck's college teammate, played 4 years in the league and now is his teammate again, which is just absurd to think about personally. But I'm betting him to score a touchdown today because this defense refuses to cover tight ends, and that part I don't think you can change regardless of who the coordinator is. Like they just don't have that matchup body for the scheme they want to play, and it just seems like once we get in the red zone, like X seam ball to Juwan Johnson just feels like a given. Like I mean, Darren Waller stunted on this offense, and he's literally a rapper.
So I will make one more point on Chris Harris and the interception. So Samini, credit to him, dug this up in his preview article this morning. So the Jets have already broken the record for most games to start a season without an interception, right? Obviously, if they go a whole season without an interception, that'll be a record. But there's another record, which is most consecutive games for a team without a defensive interception. the previous one spanned 2 seasons. So it was the San Francisco 49ers. I guess it was last year into this year. So the 49ers had their own little thing going for a little while pretty recently. And it's at 14 games, and the Jets are now at 14 games. So if they don't get one today, it will break that record. So they'll be on their way to setting 3 records for longest stretch without an interception. And he also included in his blurb this morning that Chris Harris did have he had an interception in the Super Bowl. He picked off Peyton Manning in 2007. And so maybe he can get a good rallying cry going for the boys this morning. I would hope that's a thing that they're talking about openly. Like,
they have to.
You got to figure out how to get one. Like, dude, I don't care what you need to do.
And it's like almost to the point where it's like, if you're like playing for the interception and you like bite on a route and you let up like a 60-yard pass, like, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
I like at this point, like I will live and die by chaos and explosive as opposed to just watching a team go 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's just like each play is 12 yards, 14 yards, 15 yards, 6 yards, 22. Like, it's just like a death by like, not 1,000 cuts, but like basically like 10 stabs. Like, just blow my head off in one play at this point. If you're going to let up points,
it's easier to watch that than it is like the just 10 yards a play for a 10 play drive. Like, that's almost impossible to watch. I mean, just tell all the D-backs, like, play like 2021 Trevon Diggs. Like, he wasn't a very good corner that year, but he had 11 picks because he just kept stepping in front of routes, and then he would get toasted a couple times a game. But like, hey, it is what it is. Go.
Yeah. Can't we bat a ball? Fantastic point. Yep. Like, Michael Clemens isn't going to get to the passer. Just stick your hand up, dude.
Yeah. He batted a ball last week down near the goal line.
Good. Keep doing that. God.
All right. I almost don't even know what to say about players to watch. Like, I guess this can be positive or negative.
How many yards is Brees away from 1,000 yards?
So I think he's 100 yards away. He's got 3 games to do it. At one point, he was on pace for 1,200. So to not get to 1,000, and it would be his first 1,000-yard rushing season.
Yes,
because he never had one.
I think he has 2 900-yard rushing seasons, if memory serves.
He's been 1,000. He's been over 1,000 all-purpose a few times, but he's never broken it for rushing. And so he's got 100 yards to go. I don't know what to say. Like, you got to get it, dude. It's important for him. It's important. It's more important for him than it is for the team, honestly.
Yes, but like that's a player who isn't going to dog it. That's not a player who's going to quit. Like, he wants that milestone. He wants that record. As someone who has him in their dynasty league, unfortunately, and is in the semifinals. Same. I need Brees. I need Brees to play next week. So maybe like 70 yards and a touchdown today, and then we'll get another 60 yards, break it, and then if you want to take off Week 18 in Buffalo, pal, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, so I'm actually I have him in my dynasty league too, and it's a 14 playoff, so I'm in the championship this week. I'm okay with just emptying the clip this week.
Okay.
give it everything you got.
Yeah, I said I have an extra week to go. Stafford gave me a nice lead, so I'm feeling good. That Brees, this is simple, like 15 points would be nice today because he hasn't had his last 2 games have not been. The game script has really affected that, obviously. But when
you go down 14-0 so quickly in the first quarter, it fucks the entire game. Like, everything's out of whack. Yeah. Nothing's on script anymore. So yeah, I mean, please just be close at halftime. Like, let's actually watch a football game today, please.
Or like maybe if you win the toss, just take the ball today and just try to hold on to it for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe kick
that's another thing. Every team that plays the Jets now is choosing to receive because they know they can just put 7 on the board instantly. And so, good God. Yeah. All right, we got 2 minutes before we're handing it off to Connor and Steve and Bart and Willie. Anything else? For gambling, like, all I got is the interception. I can't focus on anything else.
Juwan Johnson is plus 210. Yeah, Juwan Johnson is plus 210 for a touchdown. I do like that today.
I will put up this comment also. PSU Joe, I don't know what book he found this line on, but this is tasty. Shuck 2 interceptions at plus 468.
It's actually a fantastic theory that if you think they get 1, they get multiple, because it will be so funny if the Jets have like an entire season where they didn't have a single game with multiple interceptions. Like, they had no game with 1 interception. It was like 16 with 0 and 1 with like 3.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be absolutely hysterical. Oh, she said it's on DraftKings. So
okay, love it.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah. We'll see you Tuesday morning. We'll We have 2 voicemails so far. Feel free to leave us a couple more because God knows this game probably won't be fun to talk about. So thanks for joining us as always. Appreciate it. We'll talk to everybody before Christmas, so we won't say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Everybody enjoy this week, this next 2 weeks of work where time doesn't feel real, and enjoy the game today.
Yeah, check out like I did.
Yep.